Projectile DPS. Okay, so projectile DPS, high masters. Let's go.
Hello.
On Lijiang. What do you pick?
You bit my Genji.
A Toxic Fox. Phara.
I can't.
Wait, which
believe
map
I'm
is this?
stuck on a-
First mistake, game in German. Kappa.
Any ballers here? Anyone?
That has multiple meanings.
Okay, Phara on Garden. Good choice.
You're right.
I mean, I could try, but
Just tuck your hair into your shirt. What? Game in German. Well, the voice lines are in English, though, I think. Voice line is in English. Good. Good. Perfect. Alright, so wait, what are you guys playing? I didn't even see what you guys are playing. Anyway, so Phara against, I would think this is Goats. I can't really tell from what I'm seeing, but against Goats is really good. The position you have right now is good. You just want to spam. You keep your E, which is very important, because as soon as they cross the bridge, you can maybe look for an E. We have to be... One sec.
Playing Hanzo goats? Or no?
Oh, nice picker.
One thing, if they walk in like that, you can wait a little bit maybe. And also you want to boop to the inner side, because it's quicker, so they have less time to react. If you boop to the outer side, it has a longer travel time, so they can eat it better and they can block it better. So you want to shoot it at the inner side if you can. You should have vital thing already. What a noob! Wait, what did I miss? You absolute forehead. So make sure, if you can, to hit the inner side. It's quicker, so they have less time to react. And also they get booped to this side, which is also easier. In case you have a Lucio, booping this way as Lucio is easier than booping this way. So you can do a double boop. Double boop. Phara rollout. Wait, let me go back. Let me see the Phara rollout. He didn't E though, which I think is fine. Wait, let me see. You see your 3-head? No, you don't E there. It's good. This is good. If he expects goads, you don't E there, you absolute donkey, Kurama. This is a mistake that you would do. Your E is probably your best tool while they cross here. So what he's doing to the side, so he has an LOS already and can scout, is really good. If they play something else, you can still E to this side, or if they play a hit scan, you have to go down. It's actually good what he's doing.
They're playing Hanzo
He's
goats?
expecting goats?
Oh, nice
Yes. He is. If you expect goats here, you don't use your E early. You keep it, and you boop from this side towards here. If they had Widow, he would have no cover. That is correct, but he can scout it, and if they have Widow... Let's go back here real quick. If they have Widow here, he goes to that right side, which is fine, because you see super early. If they have Widow here, she's not gonna... First of all, right now she might shoot, so you have to be careful. If you see her now, you have to drop down, and then you can still E to this side. You don't need to do it early. He didn't scout though? What do you mean? He scouts all of this already. Where would Widow play? This is the earliest she would shoot from. So it's here. If she hits that shot, you're dead anyways. Otherwise you will have to play here, but if he expects goats, which he apparently did, then this is fine what he's doing. It's about what you expect from the enemy team. I don't know if you expected goats here, if you just do this as a normal rollout, Kozak, but if you didn't expect goats here, this is a bit risky. Because of what he said, because if they play Widow, you might get fucked. But if you expect goats here, for whatever reason, then it's fine what you're doing, because you have an early E. Now you got lucky, or I don't know, or you knew they had a bunch of tank players, so you expected goats, so it's very good that you're here. Now one thing is, the early spam's already good.
They're playing Hanzo goats?
Try to boop
Oh, nice.
at the inner side, not at the outer side, is better.
run one.
Other than that, right here, they play Hanzo, so the only threat to you is a Diva. I don't even know if you have a Mercy.
That is not.
I don't see him.
Lucio.
Oh no, you do have a Mercy. Okay, you have a Mercy. So if you have a Mercy into any kind of goat setup, you want to fly right above them or like super close, so all of your rockets will get value. You can play super aggressive against them because the only one that will deal any damage to you is that Diva. Sometimes the Hanzo will look at you, but generally if your monkey is in with his bubble, they will have to shoot your monkey. I can't just ignore it. Normal roller is better by using spawn dildo. More height and cover. Or you mean where you shoot up and shift from the thingy and spawn? But then you don't have the angle for an early E though. Do you not?
The Rhine was half, dude.
They didn't even walk across the bridge.
Somehow you get that boom.
Just
What the heck?
sat there.
Open and
Okay, this is fine.
I booped
The way you're
someone
playing
as
is
well.
fine here.
I don't even
One
have-
thing, if you ever on this map, if you ever win a fight, one of you will have to hold tab because it's very common. It's very common for any teams to swap to Widow here. And if you play where you're at right now, it is very risky because you can't get headshot. So you can spam here, but you can probably tell your Mercy or someone hold tab, and if they swap to Widow, you have to drop down immediately. It's usually what we do in scrims.
Sad.
Or whoever your duo is. I didn't see what your duo is playing, but you can tell your duo because you're busy shooting.
Oh, DPS too.
Look, they have a Widow now, so this is fine what you're doing right now. This is risky. You want to play... Okay, if you play against Widow, you want to play this roof here a lot. They swapped, I think they did, yeah.
Going outside.
Well,
I'm
next point.
surprised.
So you want to play with this roof here. It's good. Don't... Dude, these peaks are risky. The peaks you're doing.
Oh,
If you play against Widow,
Well, next
all you want to do is play from an angle where it's hard for her to shoot, like with those roofs, and shoot from above there, down into them. Or if they go here, like this line of sight you're taking here is quite risky against Widow. Try to not take that one. Like right here, you're putting yourself in danger for no reason. Yeah, you're dead.
I got
Don't do that.
well, it's one
They fell down.
No, you did get rest.
Mercy.
So one thing you want to do... Wait, I need a
No,
better
no,
angle.
Help her.
So one thing you want to do, if they go from this side, you can go from this side and shoot in here. Like you can shoot, because of the splash damage, you can shoot angles where they can't even see. Now you have to be careful if the Widow walks all the way through here. But generally, you always want to have proper cover from where they're coming from. Like you can also shoot through these, there's small windows in this hallway, like at the top, there's small windows where you can shoot through as well, which is pretty good. But it generally take angles where she can't shoot. If she's here, you want to be on this side shooting in there in the enemy team. If she's here, you want to be on this side. Also, one thing, if you're here and their Widow is here and she walks out, you see she walks out, you can concussive blast into her. And if you're right above her, it's super hard for her to hit her as well. No, that sounds like a better idea. So I think this angle here is good. If they come from this side, you play this angle, you shoot in there. And if she walks out this side, you concussive blast on top of her with your Mercy pocket. And you will most likely, if you do it early enough, if she doesn't hit the first shot right away, you're in a good spot to kill her. And it's not an easy shot to hit that one. Walk out and just instantly headshot. If you're aware of it, you will be on top of her as well. And you can fuck with your movement. Okay, if you're on point, if your team... One thing, once your team pushes aggressive in there...
No, help her.
Like, first of all,
Help her.
if you're playing here aggressively, you will end up helping them here as well. Ritzy, thanks for a follow, appreciate it. So if you're close here, you can help them if they push in. Now it's ranked, they don't really talk about I want to push in there, but ground fire, exactly. You're too much on the ground a little bit. So if you're playing here, you can end up helping them in there. You can either go from this side, shoot in there, or you can go in here. You don't really want to go in there, but yeah, if you're winning the fight, you can go in there. But one thing, if you end up playing on point here, make sure you're playing on one of these high grounds with the pillar here, because you know their Widow is on this side, so she can't see you there anyways. But don't play the low ground, because this guy can boop you. He can do the ground stomp and hit you. Your Mercy is no height ground as well. Like if someone gets on her, like they play Hanzo, whatever the heck. I don't even know what their lineup is, but if they have someone that can go on your Mercy, she needs somewhere to fly high to. So she gets peel as well. Like it's not only about your positioning, it's also about your Mercy. Look right here. Your Mercy was low. This Hammond can fuck your Mercy way easier because she's just walking on the ground. If you're not on high ground, so you have to play the high ground here. Dude, Kurama, shut up!
Ball one.
What is the Widow look at it?
This angle is risky again because of Widow. It is better. Play with the roof at all times if you can against Widow. What the heck? Okay, she just walked into that. I had the feeling that it's kind of better that you say ground because Widow, but the angle you explain is better. Yeah, it's like for you personally, is probably better to play ground, but for your Mercy is worse, and for your rockets is worse as well. For staying alive, it's definitely better to play ground. But the good thing about Phara, like if you shoot it this way, it doesn't hit, your rockets won't hit the ground, so there's no splash damage either. But if you shoot from above, like if you shoot from here down here, it will deal damage in this radius. If you shoot from here this way, they might just dodge it and will do damage in the wall behind. So shooting for angles from above down as Phara is usually better because of the splash damage as well, and it's harder to dodge. And at the same time, it gives you Mercy somewhere to fly to properly. And always if you have off angles where you can shoot from where the Widow can't see, it's better for you as well. Because generally, you might not be able to die from the Widow, but other people will have like the Hammond will have a way easier time to go on you if you're playing low ground instead of playing in the air. So you have to be careful there. I don't know how you got the Widow there. I don't know. Just spamming she walked into it, I guess. Right now you have Barrage, and their Widow is dead. As soon as this happens, where like their Widow is dead here, and they still cross, you can tell your team, go in here, we look for a Barrage here. Because Widow is the one that will most likely fuck you up from far away if you Barrage. But since their whole team is here, you can probably set up an early Barrage and get a fight win out of that. Because Barrage against Widow Hanzo is actually very hard to set up, especially if they have a D.Va as well. So you can maybe look for a play here. You have to be careful though, because they have D.Va. But generally one thing you can also do is just never use this thing. Because this thing is very, 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 very specific. You usually end up dying, especially if they have D.Va. So one thing you can do is use this until it's like super late into a fight. Like if it's like 99 fight against what they're playing, I don't think you ever want to use Barrage. Because you probably most likely die. I mean, right here, if they cross, this is one thing where you want to do it. Whenever you Barrage, it's at a timing where they don't expect it or when they're vulnerable. Like against Goats, you would want to Barrage here when they cross, or when they cross here to point, because they don't want to fight in these open things where they can get booped, or on bridge if they want to play here. Because if they turn around or like crossing here, it's easy for your team to get good follow-ups and get a lot of damage, and even if you get not much out of it, it's super easy for your team to follow up if you set it up properly. So that's one of the ways you can set it up, but generally Barrage is one of those ultimates where you have to like... There's a lot of things that need to go right. Like their Widow can't be an LOS of you. Their Hanzo can't have Storm Arrow up. Their D.Va can't have Matrix and Flight. Like their Monkey can't have Jump and Bubble so he can fuck you with his bubble in your face. That kind of stuff. It's too much of an what happens. So either you put it in a position where they don't want to fight, or you use it super late into fights where they don't expect it, or they stop tracking it, or where like one of their supports is right below you where you can instantly blow them up. That kind of stuff. But generally you don't want to Barrage. Here again, try to not play the low ground. Your Mercy is nowhere to play if the Hammond goes on her. Like this angle right here is very good. If their Widow is coming from here, the angle you have right now, whoever walks on point will get fucked on by you. So you can shoot from up here where you're at right now, and you can start playing here. Whenever they walk in from this side, you can start playing on point here. And if someone aggresses you, you can go out back through the window, or you can, and then you can come from this side in again. Like just play angles where they don't shoot you from far away. Right here, the Baptiste walks on point. You have a free angle on this clown, and none of these guys back here can shoot you. So this is really good, the angle you took right now. But start on that angle if you can. You can maybe play it a little bit. Let me go back one sec. Right here, if you wait a bit more. Right here, if you play above you right now, if you press shift right now, or if you didn't have it, but from up here, like above you, you can shoot in here as well, and they can't really shoot back because of the splash damage. So this is probably a better angle, a bit more to the right here. But generally, the angle you took right now to fight the Baptiste is good. This angle is good. Don't peek in there. Don't ever peek in there. Ooh. Be careful now.
I'm dying.
One sec. So the Hawk is going for you. I don't know where your team is right now. You lost your Genji. Just your Torb. Okay, you lost a lot of people. That's where your team is going. So right here, you have to be careful. Go behind that pillar at this HP. Go behind the pillar or outside the window. Probably outside the window. It's probably better. Play in the window for easy setup. Oh, in the window? Yeah. The window is pretty good as well, because you have both angles to get cover from. Like if they walk through here early with their Widow and she's already here, you can go from this side and shoot her. Or if they chill in there, you can play from point. Like playing around the window is good. It's also hard to reset, and it also gives your Mercy a good reset point, because your Mercy can fly here and still heal people on point. While she's doing that, she can be behind here. When she wants to back in, she can just shift to you and go back in on point. It's pretty good. So the window, Kozak is projectile DPS. So the window is very good to play around here. That fight, but you lost already too. This fight, it's not really that much on you. I won't trick it. That's okay. Let's see. Going back as fast as possible because you still have points, so using concussive here is good. Go back through. We're gonna play around the window here. Don't go inside. Ooh. You don't want to go inside here, because one thing you want to do in one of these scrappy fights is you want to waste their time. So if you're in window here, right here, and you don't go in, and you just shoot at this hog below, what is he gonna do? He's not just gonna stand there, he's gonna look back at you, which means he takes focus off the Lucio of point. And if you just stand in here and just be annoying, first of all, he can't just play here and take all of your rockets. Second of all, if you stand there and he's not doing anything, you can just keep standing there and shooting him for free. And so he'll have to turn on you. At the same time, if he turns on you, you just hide again. He's gonna be like, yeah, this guy's gone. Then he turns back around, you go back in and keep shooting him. So you're just gonna annoy him and keep the focus off of your Lucio. So you make space for your team and you deal damage if you play the window. If you commit in here, you're down in this fight. They're gonna all just turn on you and you're just gonna insta die. You're not a tank. You're gonna lose that 200 HP pretty quickly. So don't go in there right there. Hey Sly,
Are you winning? Can I ult?
I would assume you will die here right now. Apparently not. They're not focusing you, but they should. You should be dead by now. What the fuck? Dude, no one's shooting you! What's happening? Okay.
Farm ultimate, nice. You guys.
Baptiste.
Dude, this guy's not even aware you're on point.
Maybe actually winnable.
I'm over it.
You lied to me.
Now, right now you could barrage, by the way. These two guys, okay, he has hook still. But these two guys, they're not very good at peeling barrage. Especially if he starts vaping, you can just shoot him. Right there, you could barrage. But generally, you committing on pointer in a losing fight, dude, you should be dead. That's Masters. Dude, you should be dead already. You should be dead at this point. Especially your Mercy came late in. If they turn as soon as you walk through that window, because I'm pretty sure that Hog realized you went through window, but he doesn't give a fuck for some reason. He's like, yeah, let me get this Lucio that deals 10 damage to me instead of this Phara that deals 120 every shot. What the fuck? So anyways, you should be dead by now. But generally, the barrage right here, these two tanks, okay, you have to be careful to not play in the distance where this guy can one-shot right-click you. But if you play it at the right distance, and especially if he vapes, you can maybe get a barrage on this guy, which is pretty good trade at this point. But if you want to wait for his hook, that's fine too.
You lied to me.
If you know he has hook right here.
I actually lied to you, man.
Ooh. Barrage right now. Barrage right now. Barrage right now!
Hold on.
There's nothing.
I need to heal, I need to heal, I need to heal, I need to heal.
Yo, I'm just pretty quickly. Do you know why he didn't the barrage, or is there like a reason? I might get a VOD right now. I got you. Was there a reason why he didn't barrage, Kozak?
Wait,
On that hog, especially after hook? He hooked you, so there was no interruption or cancel anymore.
Dude, I don't know how you want that, man.
You didn't believe.
Like that was one of the few. That was one of the few things, because killing a hog as a Phara is not that easy, but with barrage is actually quite doable. So I don't know why you didn't barrage this guy. That one man barrage on the hog was pretty good,
To do with Lucio.
I think.
I have gold
I think you
damage,
should have
so
done that.
keep your mouth shut, dude.
I mean, you played that fine overall, but I think you should have barraged that guy. Drinking coke, I see.
Enemies tilted.
Because you go Junkrat here, it's also a decent choice. Hanzo, that works too if you play triple DPS. With Monkey, it's quite hard, but your Monkey will have a hard time depending what they pick, but generally Torb and Hanzo, they both work. With Hanzo, you usually want to play on the outside mega. We'll see where you go.
Should have gone right now.
Okay, so here if you expect goats, I'm really aware to not use Phara Genji ult, since when these tools are the most played heroes, you end up dying 30 out of 10 times. Sure, but you also have to understand when it's time to use them. You can't just keep the ult 24/7, not get value out of it. Now, generally, as Phara, I give you more credit, because Phara ulti is usually a I will die maybe for one. You know my fear to use ults. Nice haircut, thank you, Bunny. So, hey Gianna, and hey FRX. So, generally with Phara, you're right, you don't want to just unnecessarily ult because you have ult up. But in a fight like this, where it's mid-fight and you don't even have a diva, and it's a scrappy fight, especially scrappy fights, is where Phara ult gets most of its value. So right there, that Roadhog, getting a solo kill on that Roadhog is so much value, because this Roadhog could have killed one of your squishies or something like that, which might end up losing you the fight. Like if he hooks your Mercy, that's already good, and it's already good enough for him to win the fight. So getting a kill on a hog with barrage is actually pretty good value. So you probably should do that right there. But generally, I agree. You have to be careful with Phara ult. A lot of people, they just throw their Phara ult just because they have it and they want to farm a new one. But barrage is usually worse than just playing Phara normally and just spamming stuff. But in that situation, I think the barrage was the right play. Now here, if you expect goats, you don't go here as Hanzo, because you will shoot 2 arrows and then you have to get the fuck back. So if you expect goats, The usual rollout is go through main, shoot a bit from main, then walk up on this platform at the mega if you expect goats, that is. I mean, it's ranked right now, so we'll see. We'll see what happens. They play Hammond, so going white is fine. The Hammond just fed into your flashbang completely. I don't even know, you didn't even use Storm Arrow and he died somehow? What the fuck was that Hammond dude? This dude is pretty good looking. You mean Kozak? Yeah, he's looking fine. Remember that what we'll see now is that one thing where I just ask myself, how can I hit Hanzo shots only in scrims? I will see. Ooh. You're peeking too far. If you want to spam this, okay. One thing is Hanzo. One thing you're doing, okay, the summer is fine. You got shot here, so you have to be careful. One thing you're doing, if you want to spam down a hallway, don't peek out that far. Do it as soon as you hit the angle and then go back. So it's a jiggle peek. As soon as you hit the angle, you go back. You peek out too far here and get punished for it. Look how far you peek out there, dude. What the heck? Don't do that. Like Hanzo is not... Hanzo, if you spam angles with Hanzo, you release the arrow as soon as you... Hey, Adbimon, I missed you too. So as soon as you walk out of the angle and you can shoot, you do it, and then you go back. So you release amount of cover outside. But because especially if you walk with your arrow held, you walk slowly out there, okay? So they have a lot of time to shoot you, and there's not a lot of rapid movement, so it's quite easy to hit your shots on a Hanzo that is holding the arrow. So make sure you pre-aim the arrow. You pre-aim the arrow, and as soon as you walk out from the cover, you release it, and then go back. You walk out a bit too far here and get punished for it, which is good. Because then you, like right here, this one was fine. Now you're way too far. You're way too far right here. Like look how far you almost, like you walk out to the angle where you're almost behind this one as a cover. Like you cross from the cover. That's actually crazy. That's way too far. That's too far. Don't spam like that as Hanzo. If you spam... Oh boy.
Break one.
Okay, that was good though, even though we missed a bunch of them, but that's fine. Right here you play with the bubble, that's fine too. Generally you always want to have these tight corridors. It's like playing Zen. Hanzo's like playing Zen in that sense. You want to have these tight corridors where you spam down an aisle and they can only come from one direction at you, and you just shoot down there and you hope you hit them. Because generally it's like Junkrat and Zen in that sense. Because if you have like a hallway where you shoot down, it's very likely that they can't dodge it and you get a lot of value out of it. So this hallway right here is good. So you play here, you charge up the arrow, you shoot down, go back, or you play maybe on the mega and you do that kind of stuff. You just want to play with corners, because the weak point of Hanzo is whenever you charge up the arrow. That's the weak point of Hanzo, because you will be slow in movement, and you like if you do that in the open, you will be slow in movement. It's easy for them to shoot. You'll kind of be at a you'll be at a disadvantage because of movement, and you're not shooting at the same time. So you have to be careful. That's like the weak point for Hanzo.
I'm gonna jump the backline in a second.
That Sonic is not very good, by the way. If you want a Sonic behind this thing, do it. But generally, I would probably Sonic towards this side, so you know if someone's coming from here and flanking you. Now you do have this guy. I don't know what that is, but you do have this guy protecting you a little bit from this side, so it's fine. So generally, you maybe want to Sonic this angle, but shooting here in the middle, I don't know. I would probably Sonic a bit more to the left, so you can see a bit more. But generally it's fine, I think. I think you're trying to hit the Zarya though with the Sonic, which doesn't do anything. I wanted to Sonic Zarya, but that doesn't do anything. Like why would you Sonic the Zarya? She's in the open. Generally you want to get vision of somewhere where you can't see. So maybe, like let's say their Zen is hiding right here and playing this pillar. Your monkey can't see that, because he can only see towards here. So if you Sonic this wall back here, your monkey might see the Zen and get an opportunity from it. So Sonicking the Zarya that walks on point, you're not gonna get, because Kozak, you're not gonna get any value from this Sonic. Also right here you see that guy that was back here came out again, so you could have Sonic this as well to see if someone's flanking you. That kind of stuff. So Sonicking the Zarya, not good, but focusing the Zarya is fine. Especially now, she has no self, so you could call the Zarya right now. She's in no position to play. She has no shield. She's out of position. You're in a good position. You have the high ground. It's very hard for her to get on you without crossing through a torb and a turret. Yeah, shooting the Zarya here is the right play. You have to be careful though. You're playing with fire, because no one's protecting you from this side. If their Doomfist or where the heck is that comes from this side, you're probably dead. So, position-wise, you have to be careful. You keep track of this side whenever you play here by yourself.
Ball one, ball.
Like look, you're super tunnel visioned on these guys right now. on point. Which I think is not the correct way, because they could flank you from here. It's good when they walk in and you have this guy protecting you from this side. I don't know who it was. I think it was your McCree who was there. Then it's fine. But as soon as he dips and goes point, I don't think you can full commit on point here anymore. I should go to the right side next time at the Mega. Here, you mean? At this side? Yeah, this one is good because the flanking move, first of all, it splits them very hard from their team, and it's very easy to read, and it's also very easy to see because they have to go from here or all the way back here already. So you will see that every time, so that protects you from any potential flank. If you play here, their Doom can walk here, fuck you up, and be right back at his team. So generally, this side is better for Hanzo, but if you want to play here, that's fine. You just have to be careful of this flank. Because right now, I don't know if they have a Zen or something. Zen could walk in here with 5 orb charge up and just fuck you up, and you wouldn't notice because you're tunnel visioning on the point. So be careful for not tunnel visioning. Also, one thing you could also do is, if they're fighting on point here, this is not Zarya Hammond on point. Is not really that much of a threat unless this guy is super high charge, but you already use self bubble, so you can't really aggress right now. So you can hard focus him, or one thing you can also do, you flank this way and shoot their backline so they can't keep their Zarya up. But generally, don't super tunnel vision on point, but it looks like you are tunnel vision quite hard on point right now. Like, look, there's like at least 2 people of their team on this side right here that could walk into you from White Room, and they're not doing it, so you're not getting punished. So it's a bit, your positioning is super aggressive. Like, okay, right now they do it. Look how late you react to this.
I trust in you. You win it.
Look right here. Look how close this guy is to you before you realize. Look, dude. His arrow could touch your freaking head at this point. Look how close you jumped. No, it didn't jump, but look how freaking close he is with that Mei. Jesus Christ, you should be dead already at this point. So you have to be careful. If you play this side, be careful. You don't just let this angle slip away. If your McCree plays there, you can hard focus here. If you're the first line of attack at this point, you can't hard commit on point. He is jumping. Yeah, I thought he jumped this way, so I thought he gained more space. But you did now. Okay, maybe you did. But generally, look how little space you have even after you use your mobility. Jesus Christ, that's way too late. So you have to be careful here. Don't just tunnel vision on point. Make sure you keep track of this side as well if they go from here. But generally, I would suggest you play this side, the Mega. I think it's better. Let's see.
Hanzo won.
Yeah, thank God you died there. Thank God you didn't win that. It's good punish. This mercy. I'm actually glad you died there. I would have been pissed if you lived and won that fight because you would have thought it was a good play. Okay, now you go Ashe. I don't think you should have gone Ashe. I think Hanzo's the better pick. Especially... Actually, I'm not sure. Ashe can also play the Mega. Bob is quite potent against this lineup because they have no shield. And Dragon is quite rough against this lineup. But I like the Storm Arrow spam against this hero. Now, Ashe is also not bad with the Dynamite against her. Ashe is not bad. Ashe is not bad. They're both good. She's going Pepega. Ashe is not bad here. You can swap, but I swapped Hanzo because I hit no shots and ranked with. Oh, I see. So you didn't feel comfortable? Yeah, okay, Ashe is fine. There's no problem with Ashe here. Ashe is still decent, and you can still play the Mega outside. It's fine.
I'm not doing a lot with Hanzo.
I have grab for next fight.
They have no wall for 2 seconds.
Ashe is fine here.
No mind.
Terrible mailed. Wait, you're inside it. Brother, be careful. Did you not notice you were inside of it?
No mind. Never mind.
If that happens, you should shift out right away. Because this angle is also not an angle where you want to fight. You're not moving, especially Sculptin, you're not moving at any kind of speed. So right here, watch out. He's gonna fuck you up. Ashe's hit scan, she is. I'm glad you died. He deleted the dragon. He did! Maudim said, I'm carrying with Hanzo and OD, but in ranked, I don't know, it's just so different. Well, in it's very different. The way you aim or hold corners in scrims compared to ranked is very different. Because in ranked, people are just walking everywhere. As is sometimes not easy to know where you should be shooting. But generally, it's also easier to hit people because they're not playing behind cover. But with Hanzo, you're usually playing a role in scrims. You shoot a shield, and then after the shield, you keep shooting people, and people are shooting the same target. So it's not... In scrims, if you click heads as Hanzo, you just win, right? But in scrims, it's not needed of you to click heads as Hanzo. You just need to play a role. Shoot it from spawn. No, don't. That's actually bad. Don't shoot dragons from spawn if you intend to swap, because it will tell them that you're swapping. That's one thing for scrims as well. If you have a dragon and people tell you to go goats, you don't shoot that dragon, because that is a tell that you're gonna swap. I couldn't go away. I was walled, so I tried to kill it. Wait, you were walled?
Oh, my body.
But you can. But the wall. If the wall is this way, you can still shoot this way. And it disappears. Yes. So go another way then. You should go. I mean, you can if you. Okay. There's two things. You can shoot the dragon from spawn if you think someone's still fighting on point. And you think it can help them. Do that. But in scrims and stuff like that, you don't waste your ult when you swap, because it's a tell. So if they wall behind you there. Oh, one sec. Yeah, you were walled, but the wall is here. If you notice this, you can still shoot yourself back out this way by just turning a bit.
There was a wall.
Du wirst wiederbelebt. Okay, Ash here. That's unlucky.
We have to go
Don't go
somewhere.
Widow. No! It's terrible. Okay, you're reported. Dude, Widow on this map is... Ash is way better. Widow ult is so shit here. You know where people generally are anyways on this map.
That's great.
Uh-huh. Like, you don't even have... I mean, they peek you, but they shouldn't even be doing that. He's looking good. What? That's a good shot. It's actually big. Wait, did she just peek you? What the fuck just happened there? Oh, she was fighting someone
Ball
outside.
is hacking right side. Ball
Okay,
is
that's a good shot. I mean, you did get an opening there, so you can't talk shit. But generally, like, as soon as you walk in here, where the heck are you gonna play? Without them reaching you easily. That's the problem with Widow on this map. All the angles you take, like if you take this angle where you play super far, they'll just play behind that pillar. You don't have to go through that pillar. If you play outside here, it's super easy for them to reach you, and you can't really grapple anywhere properly. Like Ash has the thing. Ash's shift is better to escape that kind of shit. Or what you can do is if he jumps above you, a monkey or something, you can shift him off the map. That kind of stuff. So Ash has a little bit better protection here. Widow doesn't really. Like the Venom Mine doesn't really help you protect yourself. The grapple is quite hard. Like where the heck are you gonna grapple from here? There's nowhere to go. So Widow on this map is rough.
Zora needs to die.
So I don't think you should play this hero here. And you did get a pick on the Mei, which is important. Because every time Mei has the point in rank, my team gets walled, so I tried to kill her. I never play Widow on the map. This was probably the second time the whole season. Yeah, but how does Widow help? Generally, if they play Mei and you get walled, you're not gonna pick her before she walls, because she's gonna hide in the corner if she knows you're Widow. That guy just fucked up because he didn't realize you were Widow, I think.
That Brig is 1 HP.
Now, if you have space here, this is fine. Where you're playing right now is good if you have space here.
Wait, Zarya.
That's good.
Hanzo's one, Hanzo's one, Hanzo's one.
But now, what are you gonna do? None of these heroes will die to you. Yeah, this guy will constantly contest you. You will not shoot anyone else because of Brig. So Widow here... Whew, that's a good shot though.
Megan.
I have more than 50 hours.
Half.
Yeah, I don't think Widow's a good peer in this map. You could go Mei. Mei's a projectile hero. And you could wall yourself in. So one thing you can do. If they play Mei in this corner and they wall you this way, what you do is, if you go Mei, is you wall yourself in this way so she can't set up the wall. So you just block her off and your team can walk in here and then you can regroup here. That's one thing. And you're a projectile DPS, so Mei should be in your hero pool, no? That's what I think with the is one of the better picks here. Yeah, I don't think Widow's good here. Like, even if you hit that brick like 3 times, she's not gonna die.
Brig 1.
Stupid ass hero. And right now, where are you gonna play? Like, look, the grapple you do, it doesn't even gain any space, because this map, there's no space to gain from grapple. Look right here. Even if you grapple here and you go in here, like, even if you manage to go this far, the Hammond is gonna roll after you. Like, there's nothing you can do to escape that Hammond on this map. Or a monkey, for that matter. Monkey a little bit better, maybe, but there's no way. Widow is not good here.
Guys, it's fine.
Don't go Widow.
The other map. It's just really good for the Mei.
Yes, map's good for the
Mei.
Mei. Yeah, you should have probably gone Mei or stayed Hanzo or Ash. All 3 of those heroes were good, but Widow, no. And if you do that, I think you have to... Like, you never took this part of the map. I think you have to play around this more if you play any long-range hero. It won't happen more than needed, but I should have picked Mei. Yeah, also, with Hanzo, Ashe, or Widow, if you play any of those, play this part of the... But you can't see because of my cam, but play this side. Play the Mega here. You never played there. But if you play any of those, make sure you play around that a bit more. Because you do have the Mega to peel for yourself, and it's a bit harder for them to go, and if they go on you, they have to split as a team. So your team gets like, even if they jump you and commit hard on you, your team has an opportunity as well, because they will have to split. And it's not easy, like their backline can't get up there. So their backline will be free if their frontline chooses to go on you there. And then it creates an opening, like even by you standing there, it creates an opening for your team as well, even if you end up dying. So it's not bad if your team capitalizes on it. Let's see, what do you go last here? This map is good for a lot of heroes. Phara is doable. Phara, you have to be careful because this is a Widow map sometimes. So if someone's a good Widow, they will peek from main here down the line. So you have to be careful. So either go out left side, or I would probably choose the right side closer to point. And you can play above Garden because Garden has a lot of cover for you too. But let's see what you do. Because people usually roll out above main here. But if you do that, Widow will have a free shot on you the first time. So it's you have to be a bit careful. Have to be a bit careful. Let's see. Yeah, this one's scary. Okay, you do have a high angle, but their Widow can grapple up here and fuck you up, or she come out this side or down here. This one, if she comes out here, it's not as scary because you're shooting that way and it will bump her around and that kind of stuff. But if she grapples up here or goes up here or goes from down here, you're kind of in a shit spot because even if you drop, you have no cover here right now. So she can still hit. She has like 3 shots before you can leave. This night market? Well, yeah, but I said garden. This part of the map on night market is called garden. Now you're lucky again. They don't play Widow, so you have to be careful. This is fine. You commit on this guy. Generally, though, I think it's more value if you don't commit on the ball, but on like you could play this thing right here. They have, what do they have? Their DPS heroes are Mei or something like that. So if you like, your team will deal with this freaking ball. If you shoot here and you shoot these people walking here, or this guy playing at this corner, I think is more value for you. Because you might end up getting a kill and their Hammond will be super split because you focus them down. Like right here, this guy right here, I don't know who the fuck that is. I can't tell, but I think you should go on that guy instead. And you will have a very hard time. It's a Zarya. Zarya and Brig. Look right here where you're playing right now. Maybe a little bit more to this side at the beginning if you played here. I think is very good. Because they can't really deal with you, and if they turn for you, just go behind this wall again. That kind of stuff. You're very close. If they walk in here, your team was right there, so they can't just walk in there and walk on you. So I think this wall right here is very good for you to play at the beginning there, when they play around the Mega. This is good as well. You're chasing this Ana because they shift their attention this way, and they left their Ana behind this. Very good punishment here. And this angle you're having right now is a god angle. This is a god angle because it's 180 degrees for them. They have to shoot at your team here, and you have a 180 degree angle. So one of them will have to turn and be useless towards your team, or they focus on your team and then you can shoot them in the back 24/7. So the fact that you chose to rotate behind them and they did not turn on you is perfect. At this point, it's already too late. You should already win this fight. There's no way you lose this fight. Unless this Hanzo hits like a headshot. Ooh, don't. Where's your Mercy? Well, now they rotated again. Now it's useless. You should not be scared of this. If your Mercy is with you. First of all, I don't know where your Mercy is. Okay, this Ana kill is good. Right here. The biggest threat to you is this clown. So you should go aggressive on him if you had your Mercy with you. But your Mercy is here for some reason. Your Mercy should be with you, and you could aggressively conk into this guy right here. And as soon as this guy is dead, you win. But right now, you're scared of this guy. Which you shouldn't be, because you should have your Mercy. Now, you don't have your Mercy, so it's fine what you're doing, but it's actually losing. Because you might end up losing this now. That Hanzo had to die there. You actually lose this. Because she was now scared? Yeah, that's fine. That's her mistake. You can maybe, if you see they don't realize you're behind them right here. You kill their Ana, perfect.
Anna.
They don't know. They're focused on your monkey. Don't just spam. Fly a bit in and assassinate this guy. Because he's the most danger to you. If this guy dies, you're free. So you can, like this conk right here, I don't agree with it. I think you should go in a bit deeper. And go in this Hanzo. Super aggressive. Like be right on top of him. I think that way it's a better, like that way it's a higher chance of winning if your Mercy's not with you. Because if you're that split, here's the thing: if you're that split from your team's here, your Mercy will never fly to you. So if you're that split, and you get forced back and you play passive, you gain nothing from this flank. Like if this guy can keep you there, you get nothing from this flank. So I think you have to make a play here. It's a good boop though, but now you have to die. Yeah.
It's bad, man. Hey Aaron, willkommen, mate. Ich bin gerade kein Fokus auf Spiel. Warum 0 Dio, was soll das denn?
Ja,
Keine Ahnung, wie viele Leute haben was zu tun oder so. Passiert ja mal.
Come left side, follow me.
Okay, let's see. Going over here. Generally, the way you retake on night market, you fly around this way behind the building, so you can shoot from there, and you're pretty safe. If you can shoot people that are on point, if your Mercy's with you, your team can chill. If they hold the choke close here, you can shoot them from there this way, and they will have to get the fuck back. Or if they stand there, you can just keep spamming them, and your team can walk out. But generally, you want to walk on night market out this side, unless you know they have a Widow playing at the mini, but no one does that. Hey, Silent Hunters. So generally, go out this way. That's the retake way on scrims. Every good Phara does this in scrims, where they go out this way behind the building. Hubert, his voice is... Yo, can we stop judging him? Yisha's playing. The Mercy wasn't that focused on me. She wasn't. But then you should probably swap the Phara, if that's the case. So I try to help my team. If your Mercy is not playing with you as a Phara, you should probably swap the Phara. Because Phara without Mercy is quite rough. Look right here where you're walking through. Ah, if they have a monkey or a diva, and you're up here without your Mercy, just fly it, you're fucking dead.
He's one.
So I tried to help my team. Yeah, this is fine. If you do that coordinated dive thing with your monkey, I mean, you didn't call it or anything, but if he jumps in, you can aggro concussive. What is this? Why are you showing me your butt, Luster? God damn. So, when your monkey jumps in, you can do this aggressive conk to gain some space and aggress on them. That's good. Playing this wall where you're playing right now is fine as well, or this window. These windows are good. Rallying Brig is also a prime target for Barrage, by the way.
Carbon.
If you can isolate her. This is a very Monka-esque spot you're in right now. You should be playing above this wall here. Right here, this is fine. Play above this wall. You can play on this side as well. But dropping down here without your shift up, oh boy, that is scary. That is hella scary to play down here. Because you have no escape right now. You have your E, but you can't get any height. So you're literally stuck on the ground for like 8 seconds. Now they're not like you're even vulnerable to this Brig right now because you didn't have your E up. I mean your shift up. So you have to be careful dropping down there, buddy.
I guess we go next game because we don't want to.
What? This is fine right now. Just trying to get the fuck out. Generally, I would like you to play a bit more around the point outside here at the mini all the way over there. My dragon says wings. What? What? Bangos? Like right here, this is not a spot for a Phara to play in where you're at in this low ground. If they push in there aggressively at any point, you're actually just fucked. And your rockets will shoot, how do you say that? Horizontally. So they won't deal any splash damage on the ground. They're easier to dodge. So I don't think you should ever play in here as a Phara. I don't think this is a good way. If you need to reset, you go over main or you go from outside. I think you should play over outside a bit more.
Ja, vielleicht Muttertag, ja.
Scuff team, yeah. Yes, this is where you want to play. Outside of these, through these windows. This is the spot where Phara plays best because you can shoot from this angle, you can shoot here, here, or even go from main. Main is a little bit of a longer rotate, but you have like 360 degree of angle where you can choose. So if your team comes from main, you can shoot from back here. If your team comes from this side, you can shoot from here. Like any one of these angles, you will always have a good crossfire. So playing outside here is probably the way to go as Phara. That's usually where people in scrims play around as well. But Progi agreed. Wait, with what? Scuffed tear. Oh, tear is scuffed. Unfortunate. Red team. My bad. So you want to play around outside here a little bit more. Ooh. You can double boop that, by the way. If you see this, look how far she got booped from Elusio. If that happens, you boop. She's dead. She can't ice block the boop here properly. Because she's gonna get booped mid block as well. It's an opportunity you can do. This is a good barrage on this guy. Because that is a high value target. That's actually a good barrage. Good shots as well. That's fine. So barrage on Brig is really good because she has no way. If the Brig is ever split, solo barraging her is really good value because that hero is busted and she has no way of dealing with it at all. Now Brig almost lived through a barrage.
Ich weiß nicht, ob es ein christlicher Feiertag ist. Ist aber auch, ist jetzt kein islamischer Feiertag, aber Muttertag ist trotzdem da. Ne?
You don't play the ground so much. I don't know why you're on the ground so much. They don't have a widow right now. I would like you to play on this wall maybe. You can shoot down this way, and if they push out and pressure you can drop back down this way. I don't think this gets a lot of value. I think these rockets from up here get way more value than where you're shooting from right now. Do you give Progi your address yet? Can she kick an ulting Phara away with her shift? No, Phara doesn't move during her ultimate. No, it doesn't knock her back. Phara's immovable in her ultimate. Only hook moves her. So she can't deal with it. Yeah, this is better as well, but generally you want to fuck up this mate, it's a good call. Generally, I would like you to play over this wall a bit more.
Why?
Or what a lot of Pharas do as well, they play at this roof a bit on the upper part as well, where I saw Faye play a lot. Can only send it next week so I can slack. Can lost star. And before I keep the... Which one did you win? You won the May, right? It's fine. You play outside of... Okay, you can play... Okay, one thing, if you have the point and you have point control, you can start inside the point. But you have to be aware, as soon as they walk in here, you have to get the fuck outside of the point. Unless they don't focus you at all. But generally, you can start here, because if they walk in from any of these points, this angle is really good. It's like the one on garden. But once they gain control over part of this, you have to go outside again of one of these windows and shoot from in there. My Mercy didn't arrive yet? I think I... Wait, it didn't? What?
Focus targets, guys.
I sent that one a while ago. What the fuck?
Right.
Oh well. Yeah, this is where you went outside, this is good. Now, you always want to see where the main bulk of your team is, if this is the point. If your team is here, you want to be here. If your team is here, you want to be here. If your team is here, you want to be towards here. Like, you want to be on the opposite side every time, so they have to make a decision. Do we go after this Phara, which is bad, because they will have a lot of space on the point? Or, which is the most likely one, they will go after your team, and then you can shoot from this way. So you have a good angle. You're like mid of the week. It should. This is good as well. Going aggro on the Hanzo. Now your Mercy. I don't know.
Nice, one pick.
It's a big boop. Barrage this guy. Perfect.
Got Hanzo.
Bit closer. I would have gone a bit closer. Right here, he doesn't see you. He does not see you. I think you should go a bit closer here as well. And just fuck him up completely. It takes a bit for you to get that off.
But slapped and dead.
Victory. I don't know where your Mercy is half the time. Like generally, I would like you to play a bit more aggressive, but your mercy is never with you, so I understand why you don't do it.
Big res, dude.
Is that a big boop?
Yeah,
That's
I
actually
got-
huge. Invited England back in the days. What?
I'm
Oh,
alone.
invaded.
One.
Yeah, it is German. I can't agree with that. Okay, I actually don't know where your freaking mercy is, not gonna lie.
Come on, contest point. As much as you can. I have bomb.
Okay, you going back as Tracer.
Ένας half.
fine.
That healed all the
Fucking
time.
Torbjorn.
Okay, so generally, as Phara on night market, I would like you to play on the outside parts a bit more and retake from there because it's very strong. That's what my mercy is. Comes in there, do it with Volta. Oh, yeah. Generally, your mercy's not with you, so I think you should just swap up Phara because Phara without mercy is a little bit monka-esque, and you have to be careful. But generally, so the feedback I would give you is on Hanzo or on any one of these heroes on control center, be aware of your flanks. And if you're frontline of any angle, you have to check these angles where they came in. You remember that one time where the Hanzo was right next to you and you didn't die yet? You're lucky you're still alive at that point. Generally, this guy, if he's good, he would just click you in the head with his arrow and you're just dead. And you didn't realize where it came from. So you have to be careful of tunnel visioning somewhere. That's one of the things. And May. Yeah, other than that, your Phara on Garden. If you play against Widow, play these angles I showed you, like on the, if this is the point and they come from this way, that's white room, then you can play on this side, like you can angle in here, and if the Widow comes through here, you just aggro concussive shot into her and try to fuck her up with your mercy. On night market, try to play, if this is the point on night market, try to play on the outsides a bit more, so you can shoot through these windows. If your team comes from here, if your team comes from here, you shoot through this window, that kind of stuff. So I think the biggest thing you should work on right now is positioning, because generally you flanked that Ana one time, like you hit your shots. You don't use Barrage too often, which is good. I like that actually, because Barrage is a weird ass ultimate. So generally I think you should work on positioning most, especially if you play against a hero like Widow, or if you play on Hanzo into positions where you want to play. But generally, you see that Mega on the other side is generally a better spot. So I think you should work on the positioning a bit more, and you will be a bit more successful, a bit more useful, because you won't get pressured as easily, and you can shoot people you choose. Like the good thing with good DPS is they play in positions where you have to contest them, but it's super fucking annoying for you to contest them. Like as a monkey, if that Hanzo, there's this Mega on control center. If I'm monkey and he's on the Mega, here's the point. And I walk in and I jump this. First of all, I can get shot from your entire team this way. Second of all, even if I hit you, you have this stupid Mega to play. And third of all, you can get support from your team and you can get the fuck away from me anyways. But if I don't jump you, you just free shoot us as well. So I have to jump you, but I really don't want to. So, have you been to the hairdresser? Yeah, yesterday. So generally playing these spots where it's super annoying for them to deal with you, but they have to deal with you. That's where you want to be as a support. Not as a support, as a DPS. So that's what you have to keep in mind. So I think you should work on your positioning most. So playing spots where you're not the first point of engage, like you did on control center. So you play in a spot where you're not the first point. If you play on this Mega here, here's the point. Generally your tank will play at this corner, so they will have to go through your main tank as well. That kind of stuff. On Phara, make sure you play around high ground obstacles, like the point on Garden is something where you can play around the roofs, or that angle when they walk through white, or on point you can play, if they walk into point you can shoot this and play the window. Like anywhere where you can juke them around where there's high ground obstacle. Like that window on Garden point is so good because you're the only hero that can get in and out of it. So you're the only one that has access to this thing because it's on high ground, right? So play around these things. Took me like 10 to 15 minutes to realize he has a new haircut. Really? What the heck? Anyways, are there any more questions, Kozak? Or is that fine? I hope I could help you a bit.